Good afternoon. So you see a funny police car. It's not really a police car, of course. It's Shabbat car that they like. It's like Purim. In Israel, every day is Purim, as you know. So we'll do another lightning similar to the one from yesterday. It will be a short one because I want to take. I don't want to work that much with the fire, but I want to take. As I said in the previous video, the agenda video, I want to take samples. So. So it's important that Husbel will be lighting, but not for long. Only for a short while. These are the symbols, by the way. The symbols do not always need to be like directly on top of the container. They can be like, if they are big enough, they can be looming above it. And it still like count, if there is like eyesight, it still count as a symbol. What's important is that it should be like clear vision, an unobstructed passage of light. Even though it should be said, as I said in the past, the neos, most probably, they do not use the visual light the way that, animals use it, because they are so small and because, manifestly they have other other sensors, like sensing abilities. So but very early, I discovered and spoke about it in several videos that yes, what's count for the to symbol to be applied to the container is that it should be above the container or looming above it, like in this case, if it's big enough, and that there must be unblocked passage of light between the neos and the and the symbol. So you can ask, what happens if this is sealed? It's a sealed container, so it can be sealed, but once the neos have seen the symbol, if you close it's like you seal it, so there will be no light. So the last symbol that they've seen is is the counting one, like for the work. And again, so what count is, it might be like, it now sounds trivial that, yes, they must see the symbol, but remember they are microscopic and they don't have eyes like humans or animals have, and they have many other sensing abilities. Presumably you also need to put neos on the symbol. I forgot to say that. That's why I'm doing this. All of these papers are they are dipped in the neo juice before. So, you can say, and we know that they communicate with each other, even like in interplanetary scale. Certainly the ones here communicate with the ones over there. So you can say, why just, those one can tell them, what's the symbol. So that, in any case, it's not like because they actually need the light in order to know that the symbol is there. It's actually it's part of the symbolism. Part of the rules of of how the symbols work is that there should be the symbol should be either above or looming above the container, and there should be a passage of light between them. Otherwise, it's like it doesn't catch, like it doesn't count. The command is not accepted. Of course, the rules of the language, might be, they might sound a little bit tiresome. When you want to use the language in order to not just for communication itself, but to build something, and you fail to build it, or because you don't use the correct language. But when you think about it, you wouldn't want it to be any other way, because if there were no rules at all, it means that the news just would have done whatever they want, which means that basically they are the bosses, and with all their power, it means that they could have just basically it says that they are that these robots are like the masters of the universe, and maybe it is actually the case. Some would argue that that this is actually the case, and I'm not going to argue with it, but in a practical sense, you would want that. It's important that that the way to control to give them commands will be with structured language and symbolism that is repeatable and dependable. So even if it's kind of tedious sometimes to learn all the rules, and it is, and I'm doing it for almost 2 years now, and certainly it's not easy, but you wouldn't want it to be something simple, because if it's simple, it means that basically they do whatever they want and they can interpret whatever. To make it very simple means that they can interpret the symbols in any way they want. So and probably you wouldn't want it that way. So, I mean, it's kind of like a way to that I things that I've said to myself and to encourage myself that doing this process, which was tedious and it still is. Like, I mean, learning the symbolic language is not it's not easy at all. I mean, and it's a lot of like, I mean, frustration. But I'm always telling myself, would you want it like to be very easy? So I mean, because I mean, if it's so easy, I mean, it means that they do whatever they want, and you cannot really, I mean, like, or put it differently. Once you've studied it, you want it to be as difficult. I mean, once you know it, I mean, you have like an interest, so it will be as complicated as possible. Like after you've studied it, so I mean, because then I mean, it means that you have more control of the situation. So I'll excuse me to fire now, and then we will take samples. And then we will take samples. So I didn't manage to really boil the water in the inside like yesterday. Yesterday the liquid inside really boiled, so it was nice, and I've taken sample from it. But now, I mean, probably we need more time in order for it to really boil. So, but it's not really necessary. So I'll stop it now, and we will take samples and we will watch it under the microscope.